Hey, what's up you guys? It's Annie back with another video helping you to turn your YouTube channel into a success. And in this video, I'm sharing with you guys the 6 different metrics that are way more powerful than your view count to actually get your videos pushed out on YouTube to get more views and more growth. See, something that not all creators on YouTube understand, especially newer creators, is that it is not how many views your video gets that determines whether or not it keeps getting pushed out and growing on YouTube. In fact, in 2021, your view count almost doesn't matter at all, and there are 6 other metrics that are far more important to getting your videos pushed out on YouTube. And as I go through every one of these metrics, you guys are going to have a much better understanding of just how connected every single one of these metrics are and how important every single one of them is to your video's overall performance to get your videos pushed out more on YouTube and have your channel grow faster. So the very first thing we all have to understand is YouTube's focus group method. So essentially how this works is the very second you upload your video to YouTube, YouTube finds a group of viewers in your channel's demographics and puts your video in front of them. It then watches how this audience interacts with your video and the overall performance of your video, and then depending on how your video performs with this group of viewers, that is what determines whether or not your video gets put in front of another group of people, and then another one, and another one, and another one, and that is when your video begins to get explosive views and growth on YouTube. Which is why these metrics on your videos are so important, because if any one of them is underperforming, that is going to immediately hurt the further performance and growth of your video. So the absolute #1 most important metric for growth in your videos is watch time, also known as minutes spent watching. And this is where the YouTube algorithm absolutely murdered clickbait. Because if you use a clickbait title or clickbait thumbnail to get people to actually click onto your video, but then they watch your video, realize it's clickbait, and leave in the first 3 seconds, in the first 30 seconds, the algorithm absolutely hates that and it will automatically drop your video. Whereas if your title and your thumbnails attract your viewers, your actual video content then hooks your viewers from the very first second and keeps them watching a good portion of your video, that gets you a whole lot of watch time, which tells YouTube's algorithm this video is absolutely worth pushing out on YouTube because it's keeping people watching this video and it's generating watch time. So when you're making your videos, when you're outlining your videos, when you're filming your videos, editing your videos, the #1 thing you want to be focused on is whether or not this content is going to hook people, keep them interested, keep them watching your video, and generate as much watch time as possible. You may see a video and think to yourself, oh, well, that video got 92,000 views, so of course YouTube is pushing it out further. It's not the views that's making the video get pushed out, it's the watch time. So that is the #1 most important metric for your videos that is way more important than your view count. Which then brings us to our second sort of tied in metric, which is your audience retention percentage, also known as average percentage viewed. So let's say you make a 10-minute video on your channel. The average viewer watches about 1 minute of your video. That then gives your video an average audience retention of 10%. Whereas if you upload the same 10-minute video, but the average person watches 5 minutes of that video, that gives you an average audience retention percentage of 50%. The main difference between both of these things being that a 50% retention tells YouTube's algorithm something about this video is keeping people watching, we should definitely push out this video. Whereas a 10% retention kind of tells the algorithm the opposite and tells it, people are not really enjoying this video, it's not really hooking people, maybe we should drop this video and find another one. And while I don't really have a specific percentage to give you from YouTube themselves, I have personally never had any one of my videos do really well on YouTube unless it has a retention above 45 to 50%. So definitely when you are uploading your content, you want to have a retention as close to and above 50% as possible. So then another super important metric, which is almost just as important as watch time, is your CTR, better known as your click-through rate. And this is what tells you and YouTube both what percentage of people saw your video somewhere on YouTube and clicked to watch the video. So if, for example, 1,000 people see your video on YouTube, 100 out of those 1,000 people watches your video, you now have a 10% click-through rate. And why this is so important and so crucial to your overall video's growth is that your CTR basically tells YouTube's algorithm, we're showing this video to people we think might be interested in this video, and this amount of people are actually clicking onto the video, showing their interest in the content. So basically, the more people your video is shown to that actually click to watch the video, the higher your CTR is going to be. Now again, I've heard so many different numbers about what is a good or not so good click-through rate. From the research I've done, I've seen over and over again that 4 to 5% is an ideal CTR, and that pretty much anything between 5 to 10% and higher is really good. So I would say to aim between about 4 and 10% or higher. So now another metric that is not talked about nearly enough are rewatches. So a rewatch is essentially when somebody watches your video and then either goes back and watches the video again or watches a specific part of your video over again. And what this is telling YouTube is not only is this person watching the video, but they enjoyed it enough to actually watch it a second time or watch a specific part of it again. Like when you rewatch your favorite episode of your favorite TV show, or if you have a specific video on YouTube you've watched a million times. That is one more metric that tells the YouTube algorithm people are not only watching this video, they're watching it over and over and over again, meaning this is probably a video we should show to more people and push it out to more people. Unfortunately, rewatches are not really something we can control or make people really do, but if you have content that is good enough to watch again over and over again, rewatches are definitely something you could benefit from. So now another metric I'm sure you guys have heard about a million times is engagement, which basically encompasses likes, dislikes, comments, shares, and essentially any way a viewer can possibly engage with your video. So essentially any way you can have your viewers interact with your video is going to boost your video further. So encouraging your viewers to like the video and share the video, comment on the video, then you going back and responding to all your comments is just going to give your video more engagement and more of a boost. And again, just like any other of the metrics on your video, what engagement is going to do is basically tell YouTube not only are people watching this video, but they're watching the video and taking the time to engage with it, telling YouTube's algorithm once again, people are enjoying this video, let's push it out further. And then finally, one last super underrated metric that is not talked about nearly enough is session time. And session time on YouTube is essentially how long every single person is spending on YouTube. So let's say for example, I upload a video to YouTube and then I share the link to my video in a Facebook group or on Twitter. From the very second somebody goes from that link onto YouTube onto my video, YouTube begins to measure their session time, which is how long they spend on YouTube from the second they start watching my video. So if somebody watches your video and then leaves YouTube right away, that's the end of their session. Whereas if somebody watches your video for let's say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then goes to watch more videos on YouTube, or they watch your video, then stay on your channel and watch others of your videos, that automatically makes for a much longer session time. And like I've said a million times before on my channel, the number one thing YouTube wants you to do is keep people on YouTube for as long as possible. So if watching your video contributes to a super long session time on YouTube, that is going to make your video fall into the good graces of YouTube and get pushed out further. So if you can, you may want to create some playlists on your channel and group together some videos that are very similar or that fall under the same topic or theme, basically just making your content so much easier to binge. Which is why if you go onto the homepage of my channel, I have all my videos organized into different sections under different themes and topics to make my content so much easier to binge and making longer session time that much more possible on my channel. So now if we take a minute to sort of try to tie everything all together and see how every one of these metrics are sort of connected, starting off with click-through rate, that is what gets people to actually click onto your video and tell YouTube they are interested in your content. Then things like your audience retention, your session time, your watch time, all contributes to keeping people watching your content for as long as possible and staying on YouTube for as long as possible. And then things like engagement basically just gives YouTube one more thumbs up where your content is concerned, telling YouTube's algorithm, hey, I enjoyed this video, you should definitely serve it to more people. So all in all, aside from your view count and how many views your videos actually get, these are all the metrics that are way more important to actually getting the algorithm to notice your videos and push out your videos, recommend them to more people, and help them grow more on YouTube and get more views. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, hope you found it helpful, maybe learned something new. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to comment them down below in the comment section. I always answer every single one of my comments, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Love you all to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!